Courtesy of a request from Deb Mitchell, we're taking a look at some music that packs as much substance as it does punch in the face. Welcome to Ray Reno Does Music, where today we're taking a look at the Devastate EP from Arts of the Enemy. I have heard of this band literally not even 24 hours before I wrote this review and the time of recording it. In fact, it was all over the course of about 3 hours total of when I'm just writing this in general. Don't worry, I listened to it enough. Don't get upset. Influenced by bands like Periphery and Veil of Maya, these guys hail from Hartford, Connecticut, and to the best of my knowledge, this is their only real legit release outside of, like, singles. They seem rather low-key in terms of popularity, but I gotta say the music here is more quality driven than the type of stuff that I see on, the local bands around here in Michigan that try to say like, oh, we rose from local bar venues and now we're opening up on arena tours, which they're really not. They're just opening up for fancier bar tours. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't even know where I was going with that. It's just, what I'm saying here is this is a local band that doesn't seem too full of themselves and they actually have some decent talent there. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think what stands out for the most part on this album is Matt Campbell, the drummer, delivering just absolute chemistry and motivation to the other band members around him, whether he's setting a band member up for a fantastic riff, or he's capitalizing off of the bass work, or even the vocals from the lead singer. I feel like Matt is really constantly putting in the work to make sure that everybody's sound comes off just a little bit better with the contributions he can make to each and every song. He doesn't really draw attention to himself, but rather, he doesn't try to make things about Matt Campbell, even in little bits where it's just the drums, going through the motions and trying to make that initial impact. No, rather, he tries to make Art of the Enemy sound good in particular and in totality, which is very good to have, not just as a drummer, but as a member of a band in general. Even when guitarist Dan Hale is putting down an absolutely almost blistering rhythm with his guitar for a solo in Face to Face, it still feels like the drumming is pounding away and This term is very worn off, but I feel like it really fits here. It feels like the drums are just melting your face off with not necessarily brutality, but the sheer... I don't have any good words for it. Shit's brutal. Kill me if I ever do that again. The lead singer is very consistent as well going throughout this EP, where sometimes you get these parts where it feels like the singer's just going through the motions. He's like, oh, I got lyrics to put down on this. But no, the lead singer is actually doing a very good job of being consistent and keeping lyrical and quality confidence up throughout all the songs here on the 6-track EP. The Storm is a song where he absolutely shines, no doubt about it, but on Consequence, I feel as if he's a little lost in the shuffle. Again, this isn't a bad thing or a bad description whatsoever. That song is very much dominated in no small parts by, I'm sorry, I'm reading notes off here because I'm trying to pound out a bunch of videos at once. The song is very much dominated in no small part by, again, the guitarist. Hale is once again just putting together a very interesting additional guitar piece that builds upon itself instead of the guitarist Matt building upon others and helping out others with the drumming pieces. Wow, it's good to build upon yourself, especially as a guitarist, because I feel next to vocals, no, I wouldn't ever legitimately place one instrument above the other, but I think in order of what people notice when it comes to bands, it's vocals and guitar are immediates, because those are usually the things you can pick out. And Dan Hale does a very good job of making himself known, both in skill and grandeur. Going back to the actual song, though, one moment is just simplistic building and tension building and aggravation coming forth before it goes into another finger blistering piece that develops further and further and develops almost its own chemistry as opposed to everyone building themselves up as well. Cannot stress that word enough as a concept throughout each and every one of these songs. These band members have unspoken chemistry. I have no idea when they formed, but Art of the Enemy very much feels like they've been a band for well over a decade. Almost 2 decades worth of skill is here. You have bands that have been around since the 90s and beyond that still struggle to come together and form a coherent piece of music. and these guys are pulling it off absolutely great. There's a concrete sound throughout half a full album's length, and it's really good to see. I did notice, however, that there hasn't been any activity on their Facebook page since September 17th, so I'm really hoping that they aren't, like, done or over, because, like I said before, this is without throwing up the devil horns this time, because it's a little bit cringy, especially when I have nail polish on still. Why did I do that this morning? The Van is very much a brutal album that doesn't try too hard to make itself come across as, oh, we're mature, look at us with our drum solos and stuff like that. It's not fun by any means, but it is very much predicted and thought out. So, to finish things off here, I'm going to be giving this EP a 3.1 out of 5. EPs aren't full albums, so while albums get an out of 10 rating, EPs will be getting an out of 5 rating. To simplify things, think of that as a 6.2 out of 10. Just above average. I don't really want to give them too high of a score because this is the first release I've heard by them, and it's an EP, so I can't really sit here and say, wow, this is beyond amazing. But it is very good. And that's the video, guys. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Give these guys a listen for yourselves. You can find the album on Spotify. I'll do my best to remember to link to the album in the description as well. But if not, remember it is Devastate by Art of the Enemy. I mean, it's in the title, for God's sake. But yeah, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, dislike, subscribe, unsubscribe, share it, tweet it, tout it, Instagram it. Staple the video link to this on the front of your local library. Be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.